दस्तूर है जमाने का यह पुराना, लगा रहता है यहाँ आना और जाना। रहो जहाँ अपनी छाप ऐसे छोड़ जाना, हर कोई गुनगुनाता रहे आपका ही तराना। संजय सर, जुडिशरी में आपने छाप छोड़ी है जो हम याद रखेंगे। नाउ मे आई रिक्वेस्ट ऑनरेबल मिस्टर जस्टिस संजय किशन कौल, जज सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया, टू kindly deliver your case.
Honorable Chief Justice Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, brother and sister judges, Attorney General, Solicitor General, other law officers, Supreme Court Bar Association President, Secretary and other office bearers and members of the Advocate and Record Association, former judges and my senior colleagues, members of the bar and members of the registry. I don't propose to take a roll call, so I'll begin with what I have to say. I walk into the shadows with a sense of fulfillment and a prayer on my lips for the Almighty who allowed me to serve the people of this great country in dispensing justice. Life's journey is like a meandering river, always full of curiosities and surprises. A native of Kashmir, born in Delhi, served as the Chief Justice of Punjab in Haryana, and then at the Madras High Court, right at the southern tip of the country, before being elevated to this court, often called the most powerful court in the world. Although I had a sheltered childhood because of the love and affection showered on me by my elders and my grandfather's guidance, I could shoulder responsibility and stand on my own 2 feet from an early age. The school education under the tutelage of the inimitable principal Shri Kapoor and my housemaster Shri Eki Chaturvedi helped me broaden my horizon and come into my own. From a child who was reserved to someone who stepped out onto the stage as a theatre actor, my passion for theatre remained with me right through college and thereafter. My school and college education at St. Stephen's was a journey in self-realization that helped me evolve as a person. It taught me to strike a balance between work and other facets of life, adding joy and meaning to it. I do not subscribe to the notion that a judge should lead a cloistered life. Judging is as much about interpreting laws as life's experiences. Interaction with different members of society has provided a perspective on both. The twists and turns of life are unfathomable. My initial inclination was to pursue a degree in economics, followed up with a graduate degree in business administration. The idea was to take the civil services exam to join the foreign service to quench my wanderlust, as the Chief Justice mentioned. When my family found that they could not convince me otherwise, Justice B.N. Karpal, then a lawyer, was roped in to persuade me to join the legal profession. In their perception, my inclination towards foreign service would have taken me away from my duties as the eldest son. Justice Kirpal succeeded in his endeavor. He made me change my mind, a decision I have never regretted. As a lawyer, I was guided by late Justice Arun Kumar, whose chambers I devilled for over 4 years, allowing me to appear in court under his able guidance. This phase of my professional life was one that I enjoyed thoroughly. When I was invited to join the bench, I had concerns which were addressed by the then Chief Justice A.S. Anand and Justice Kirpal. I was assured that I will never feel a lack of work satisfaction, and I did not. It has been my endeavor to persuade the successful young members of the bar to accept judgeship, citing myself as an example. Delhi High Court is where I cut my teeth as a judge. A young judge like me can be over-enthusiastic. It showed in my attempts to do away with the adjournment culture which prevailed in the bar. I believe that a litigant should not be made to wait indefinitely to know the outcome of his case. It did take the bar a little time to adjust to my ways, which they did finally. It is my belief that imparting justice is the responsibility of both the bar and the bench. They have to work hand in hand to innovate, to develop the law, to assist people in leading better lives. My elevation to the Punjab and Haryana High Court as Chief Justice after 12 years at the bench came at a delicate time when the relationship between the bar and the bench of Delhi High Court was strained. However, the bar travelled an extra mile to give me a farewell in a manner which left me with a sense of deep gratitude and contentment. The Chief Justice must lead from the front, but carry his colleagues along. The Chief Justice's job carries both judicial and administrative functions. That said, Chief Justices need to show judicial leadership by giving precedence to court work. Thus, administrative work is usually carried out after court hours. The bar at Punjab and Haryana embraced me warmly and accepted me for what I am, a hard taskmaster in court who would say a clear yes or no at the bar representatives, depending on what was possible. My colleagues also gave me unstinted support for the infrastructure and administrative reforms, recommending names for judicial appointments and designating senior advocates. The bar also gave suggestions which were of immense value towards making the courts more accessible to general public. By way of an example, signages were put up to facilitate the litigation public to navigate the court labyrinths. Both Delhi and Chandigarh have a practice of judges convening over lunch, which provided space and time to discuss and sort out issues concerning the court. I have found this practice to be of immense value. I could, over a cup of coffee at times, find solution to the most intricatable problems. One such decision that I took concerned the designation of women senior advocates. One fine day, I was suddenly informed that I had to proceed to Madras High Court as the Chief Justice. I was not pleased about this decision, as my tenure was a work in progress in Punjab and Haryana High Court. My wife thought this was my Waterloo. I assured her that whatever else may be, it would not be so. I was determined to perform my duty as the Chief Justice of the storied court, and my stint turned out to be the most fulfilling period of my career. Until my move to Chandigarh, I had lived in Delhi all my life. Thus, moving to Chennai helped me understand the history and culture of that place, which has its own norms and ethos. The general disposition of people of Tamil Nadu is one of the great humility and acceptance. I went to Chennai reluctantly, but ultimately fell in love with the place and its people. I formed the most enduring friendships, which I continue to cherish to date. Although the Madras High Court has a rich heritage, at a point of time when I joined as Chief Justice, there were serious issues between the bar and the bench. No one person can make a change, but I made an endeavor. The bench of the Madras High Court stood with me on all decisions that enable advocates and litigants to access the court without impediments. It was important to establish the authority of law. This meant that I had to wage many battles in my tenure as the Chief Justice of that court to achieve that goal. I look back with a great satisfaction of my time and what I learned and imbibed, both within and outside the court. 4 years as Chief Justice of 2 high courts was an enriching experience. Fortunately, there was more in store for me. My elevation to Supreme Court gave me a tenure of almost 7 years, which exposed me to a wide array of challenging matters. A judge's greatest satisfaction is in penning down a judgment which contributes to the development of law. The Supreme Court of India is not merely a constitutional court, but practically works as a court of appeal. Everything and anything comes there. It is the final court, and thus a cautious approach becomes necessary as one is laying the law for the country. The Supreme Court is often called supreme because its decision is final and not because it is infallible. I have had no illusions about this and always feel that when I pen down something, it is just an opinion to be agreed with or corrected in future. The bar acts as a check on the judiciary, and this kind of check and balance should be welcomed. In the same vein, it takes strength and courage to simply arrive at a decision and stick by it. Although this is a basic expectation of being a judge, it is not often easy to do so. If there is one piece of learning that I can share with my sister and brother judges, and those of you in the audience who choose to walk this path, it is that there is often no right decision, but only the best one in a given circumstances. Find the courage and conviction within you to make a decision, and once you do, don't look back. Decisions are made not only from an application of mind, but also from the heart. By this I mean, intuition and empathy go a long way in judicial decision making. I do not think that anyone could have put it better than Kipling in his poem If. I quote, "If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, not lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son." Unquote. I have endeavored to perform my task with a sense of humility, yet I know I have been tough in court on more than one occasion. However, I have done this with the best of intentions. As Brother Dhullia keeps reminding me, sitting on the bench, कोर्ट का इकबाल होना चाहिए. Over the last year and a half, I also had the additional responsibilities that come with being the second judge to the Chief Justice. In the many ways that lives come around, this too came around, as I had the privilege of sharing these responsibilities with my longtime friend from St. Stephen's, who I fondly call Dhan. I have endeavored to execute this role to the best of my ability. One role that I will cherish fondly is being the Executive Chairman NALSA, as also the Chairman of the Mediation and Conciliation Project Committee. This gave me the opportunity to see the dispensation of justice at the grassroots level, which has been a source of personal satisfaction. Along with Brother Justice Khanna, Justice Shagdar, Justice Bhansali, Justice Jayakaran Nambiar, and Justice Maushami Bhattacharya, we were able to make significant inroads. Today, NALSA has footprints all over the country and forayed into many areas with the aim of maximizing assistance to the litigants. The Secretary NALSA, Santosh, has played an extremely important role in assisting me in responsibilities, including in organizing the first regional conference on access to legal aid and strengthening access to justice in Global South. I would like to add that the reliance on mediation has grown by leaps and bounds, which I have vociferously advocated with the able assistance of M.S. Mezavali, Member Secretary, Supreme Court Legal Services Committee. I have always believed that courts are temples of justice and must remain open to the litigants to knock at their doors anytime. Litigants are tired and weary, more so by the time they reach this court, which is the court of last resort. The bar and the bench exist for them. It is to the credit of this court that access to justice remains unimpeded at all times. The challenges faced by litigants who approach this court for resolution of their disputes must remain foremost in our mind while dispensing justice. The prayer of every judge is something which I keep on my table. Give me the grace to hear patiently, to consider diligently, to understand rightly, and to decide justly. Grant me due sense of humility, that I may not be misled by my willfulness, vanity, or egotism. In my own way, I have tried to adhere to this prayer. I have been often asked what I enjoyed more, my days at the bar or bench. My answer to this query has always been that my experience both at the bar and the bench has been enjoyable and thoroughly satisfying. My family has stood by me in difficult times. My wife Shivani would tell me that I should do what I felt was right in my heart. My daughters Akanksha and Upasana did have a grievance that I did not spend enough time with them. I have always said there are 3 women in my life. My son-in-laws Aditya and Arjun may possibly have the same grievance as my daughters. Apportioning time between work and personal life becomes challenging at times. I have tried to make amends with regards to my grandchildren, Abir and Adya. I have been more indulgent with them, though I still feel I fall short. I would like to thank my staff who worked with me in Delhi High Court, the Punjab and Haryana High Court, the Madras High Court, and the court and this court in carrying out my task. I have treasured and applaud their commitment and efficiency. One of the innovative steps taken by the institution is to attach law researchers to judges. This practice has benefited both the judges and young law graduates. Law researchers who are enthusiastic and committed assist the judges in myriad ways. I would like to commend my law researchers. Going back to my days in the Delhi High Court, namely Radhika, Kartik, Tanvi, Aparna, Shailja, Bhavesh, Maitri, Pranav, Kaustubh, Shreya, Mihika, Andolan, Mrinani, Abhishek, and many more. I am told that they have a WhatsApp group called Kaul and Company. What now? I want to do things for which I have had no time. Travel where I have not been. Spend more time with the family, especially my grandchildren. Watch theatre, play golf, watch films, learn to play the piano, read, and keep my mind occupied with some legal work. It has been a satisfying experience, to say the least, but I believe much more is to come. As I traverse onwards from my judicial path, I would like to end this address with my favorite words from the poem of Robert Frost, Stopping My Woods on a Snowy Evening. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. While I have no intention to sleep, I think I have earned a well-deserved rest in the woods. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
संजय सर, 4 लाइनें और आपके लिए हैं। आपकी सोच को आवाज़ हम देंगे, आपके ख्वाब को आगाज़ हम देंगे, आपके जाने पर इतना भरोसा दिलाते हैं, आपके इरादों को परवाज़ हम देंगे। संजय सर, आपकी कुल देवी ज्वाला जी की कृपा आप पे है, जो खुरू पुलवामा में है, कश्मीर में, जो हमारे लिए एक बहुत बड़ी बात है, जो हम लोगों के लिए एक ब्लेसिंग्स हैं। संजय सर, योर वर्ड्स हैव ऑलवेज बीन एम्पावरिंग टू द लॉयर्स, टू द मेंबर्स ऑफ द बार. Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. Now may I request Mr. R. Venkat Ramani to present a portrait to Honorable Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul.
Thank you, Rohit. Message by Justice Kaul. A few thoughts to share with the bar. The relationship between the bar and the bench has its own nuances. The justice delivery system needs both. The common purpose is to serve the litigant who approaches the judicial institution seeking justice. Invariably, the litigant approaches the court as a last resort. The common man has faith in it, which should never be belied. The development of law ought to be oriented towards maximizing welfare and justice for the people. Judges play their part, but they can only do so with the assistance of legal professionals. In this regard, I would like to reiterate that a lawyer's submissions, both written and oral, ought to be aimed not only towards the welfare of the client, but also for the public at large. This is the full meaning of the adage that justice is always a collaborative effort between the bar and the bench. The foremost principle that I believe is required in this profession is integrity, since law as a profession should never be practiced for monetary and individual gains alone. One can only truly succeed in this profession when they devote themselves to larger cause of the profession. The integrity of lawyers is not limited to the courtroom and extends way beyond, for all the lawyers are officers of the court, representing the virtues and morals of justice. Bearing this principle in mind, I have always urged and encouraged talented lawyers to even at times forego their lucrative practices and join the bench to further the existing jurisprudence, since if no good lawyer joins the bench, then nuanced arguments will go unappreciated and the law shall not evolve. It is the bounden duty of the senior members of the bar as well as the judges to evolve the next generation of lawyers. The challenges a newcomer faces in the legal profession must be addressed. All of us owe to the next generation of lawyers to assist them in evolving themselves in the ever-growing legal field. I have a strong belief that mediation is the way forward. No legal system can take the burden we seek to put on it. Mediation not only unburdens the legal system by providing an alternate dispute resolution mechanism, but it is a better method of dispute resolution where parties decide what their interest is without having to depend on a predetermined legal principle. A judge is always remembered for his judgments, and when I reflect upon my judicial tenure, I find that I have adopted a concise and pragmatic approach to my legal writing and decision making. I hope that these remain valuable contributions to the development of law. Yet, I am mindful that law is meant to be transitioned with time, and the judgments I authored are not the end but part of a larger evolution of law. I look forward to seeing how the bar and the bench felicitate this evolution. Thank you.
थैंक यू रोहित. वैसे थैंक्स तो 3 राउंड हो चुका है बाय प्रेसिडेंट, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट एंड सेक्रेटरी, बट इट्स नाउ फॉर्मल. We are grateful to Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chanchud, Chief Justice of India, for accepting our invitation to preside over the function. We are grateful to Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, Honorable Judge, Supreme Court of India, for accepting our invitation. I thank Madam Mrs. Shivani Kaul and family members of Justice Kaul for accepting our invitation for gracing this occasion. I wish Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, Judge Supreme Court of India, a very happy, healthy and enjoyable life ahead. Bar will miss you, sir. We are grateful to Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court of India, Honorable Justice A.K. Sikri, former Judge, Supreme Court of India, Justice Vipin Sanghi, former Chief Justice of Uttarakhand High Court. We are grateful to Sri Venkat Ramani, Learned Attorney General for India, Sri Tushar Mehta, Learned Solicitor General of India, Law Officers, Sri Atul Kurekar, Learned Secretary General, and Mr. Mahesh Patankar, Mr. Rakesh Kumar, Mr. Rajiv Sharma, and other Registrar of the Supreme Court. I thank Senior Member of the Bar, Sri Rakesh Khanna, former President, Mr. Rahul Kaushik, former Secretary of Supreme Court Bar Association, Ms. Neena Gupta, Mr. Sombir Deswal, Member GICC, Supreme Court of India. Distinguished guests and members of the bar, we are grateful to Mr. Manoj Misra, President, Sri Snesis Mukherjee, Vice President, and other office bearer of SCORA, and press and electronic media persons for gracing the occasion. I am thankful to members who have joined virtually. I wish to thank SCBA staff, registry staff for their cooperation for making this function success. I request EC member to come on dais for photograph.